In this edition of City News, find out how you can help diminish water pollution. Also see how community members can contribute to changes happening in the city. Plus, tech-savvy science and engineering students manufactured their way to the hoop. These stories and much more coming up on City News. Hello and welcome to City News. I'm Jennifer Murillo. The city of Hawthorne is doing its part to help keep the ocean clean. Let's find out how. Administrative analyst Doug Krause says that approximately 500 screens will be installed in catch basins throughout the city.
In some of the basins, we're also installing filters that will absorb oils, heavy metals, and some other nasty stuff to, again, protect the water.
The Storm Drain Improvement Project is a new state regulation that requires screens to be installed in high-traffic areas to help cut the amount of trash going into the ocean.
We hope to see some real results. We'll be monitoring this for years, monitoring the Dominguez Channel, and we'll hopefully be able to see the results.
$260,000 were funded through a used oil competitive grant from the California Department of Resources Recycling and Recovery, and an approximate additional $50,000 are being funded by the city to complete the project.
There will be very brief construction. You know, the guys will jump into the basins and put the screens in. So it'll be quick, it won't really impact your day-to-day, and then once they're in, you won't see them at all because they are inside the catch basin, but they'll be working hard.
Krause says that in due time, screens will be added to the remaining 500 catch basins. To learn more about the California Department of Resources Recycling and Recovery, go to www.calrecycle.ca.gov. Peace, order, and prosperity. That's how Mayor Alex Vargas described the city of Hawthorne in this year's State of the City address.
We've turned a corner and we're on the right track. I'm super excited about that, and I want to thank each and every one of you for playing a part in that.
Vargas noted 4 major retail, food, and beverage chains that set up shop within city limits and says the city is crunching numbers to tackle its $6.5 million debt, starting with the sale of the old police building and surrounding real estate. Vargas says an Amazon fulfillment center will be making its way into the city in phases, and the approved Hawthorne-specific plan has provoked more business and development applicant requests. The city of Hawthorne invited everyone to a community workshop at the Hawthorne Memorial Center. We take you there to find out what it was all about. The Hawthorne Next specific plan is seeking to develop a plan for sustainability, building development, jobs, transportation, and open space in the area south of the Hawthorne Airport and west of Crenshaw Boulevard.
The project seeks to develop a new land use and development guidelines for the area of Hawthorne that is a former industrial area with a lot of really great old aerospace buildings, but is currently underutilized.
It's important to hear just in general the good things that are potential here in Hawthorne, which includes changes to our zoning, changes to our overall city.
This was the first of many workshops giving community members the opportunity to get involved and give their input as to what they would like to see happen here.
I'm interested in convenient ways to get people to my business. There's a metro stop not too far away, but that's one of the things I'm interested in.
So we come from different technical backgrounds like transportation and land use, but the community members are really the experts on what it is like to live in Hawthorne and work in Hawthorne and go to school in Hawthorne. So they're really a critical part of our entire planning process. We really can't move forward without their input.
Already we have a bunch of Post-its on these boards that are behind us for ideas that maybe weren't thought of, or just sort of interesting other perspectives that can be added that might help the project as a whole.
Other comments suggested improving the bicycle infrastructure and making some urban walking paths.
The Hawthorne Next specific plan is funded through a Strategic Growth Council grant from the state of California.
We actually already have the grant money to complete the planning process, to do an economic development strategy, to do a greenhouse gas reduction strategy, and to take the project all the way through environmental review and entitlements.
Part of the work that the consultant will have to do is to provide an implementation and financial analysis of how we could carry it forward. Where are the funding sources? What kind of developments? And so it's going to be an exciting year and a half.
The planning process is scheduled to be completed within 2 years, and from the developed plan, also be able to identify different projects and additional grants available. To find out when the next workshop will take place or have any questions, email hawthornenextplan@gmail.com or call the planning department at 310-349-2970. More than 150 positions available and an even larger applicant pool means many new hires. Home Depot hosted its spring hiring fair at the Hawthorne Memorial Center. Zarina Carazada tells us more.
From building materials to gardening, Home Depot employees have a lot of ground to cover. And when construction season is around the corner, 12 stores in the South Bay are looking to hire as many and as fast as possible.
Each candidate will go through the participating stores, they'll conduct the interviews. If the job offer is made, we are processing paperwork.
That's right, candidates were hired on the spot as long as they passed a background check and drug test, which is why more than 160 applicants from South Bay One Stop came to the Hawthorne Memorial Center to secure one of more than 150 jobs available.
We provide supportive services in the form of transportation and clothing, and the training is mostly vocational training, just to help them to upgrade their skills so they're more marketable.
And one candidate says it was a new experience.
I told myself to just stay calm and stay collective and try not to stutter my words.
While Ian Stewart waited for his interview, another applicant made it to the end of the process.
I felt great getting hired. It feels good to be back on the workforce again.
As each newly hired employee walks out with papers in hand, South Bay One Stop employees know it means another person is back on the right path. For HCTV, I'm Zarina Carazada.
We're happy to report that more than 100 job offers were made. Coming up next on City News, we'll show you what has cats purring here in the city. Also see how a productive lunch helps subside some Hawthorne classrooms. There's more news ahead. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Michael's Learning Center is the cat's meow. Kelly Moody tells us why.
David Dorado is a student with Michael's Learning Center, and his specialty is kitty perches.
When they introduced it, they told me if I was interested in doing it, and I told them that I'm interested in doing cat structures.
David works with 4 other students to go through all the steps from sanding and staining wood to drilling and assembling for a perfectly constructed kitty perch, sometimes making up to 6 in a day. A completed perch is either sold in Culver City at Adopt-In Shop or shipped to a new home.
It's made by our community, it's made with more recycled material. We know where the material comes from, and we know who's putting it together. So there's a story behind the whole process of it.
Michael's Learning Center offers programming for children and adults with developmental disabilities. The Kitty Perch Project is one of multiple job trainings aimed at teaching students new skills for future occupations.
I think having this kitty perch is allowing other individuals to see what they're capable of doing, because they get put down so much. And it's like to know that they're gonna be able to show the world, like, I built this all by myself using recyclable materials. So I think that's the best part of it.
John and Ryan are teaching me how to make the newest addition to the Kitty Perch project, which are these fancy cat door hangs.
Yeah.
As projects continue to grow at Michael's, the mission of the organization stays the same. Executive Director and founder of Michael's, Ed Lynch, founded the nonprofit after the passing of his daughter, who is physically and developmentally disabled.
My daughter would be happy if she was here. We set the bar a little bit higher for our students and not just take what people say they can and cannot do, and to test that. And we've found that by testing that, there is a lot of successes there.
And students like David continue to test the limits. For HCTV, this is Kelly Moody.
Michael's Kitty Perches can be bought online at www.michaels.org/Michaels-kitty-perch. The El Segundo Chevron Refinery awarded a grant to the South Bay Workforce Investment Board. A $25,000 grant was presented to the board at the March 16th SIBORG Executive Board meeting. The grant will be utilized partially for a new virtual technology project.
You guys do such great work for the community, for the region. It's just amazing. Everywhere I go, I hear about the women. You guys are doing an outstanding job.
To learn more about SIBWIB, go to their website at www.sbwib.org. Building from the ground up is always a process, and for Hawthorne and Da Vinci High School students, it was a challenging task that put their gears in this competition. Zarina Carazada tells us more.
Precision is key for these high school students. Without it, their robot won't be able to do what it was designed for.
This year we're doing really well. We got our robot up yesterday, which is the first.
Hawthorne and Da Vinci Science High School students raced the clock at the Long Beach Convention Center in this year's first robotics competition. And it was tough. 66 teams sponsored by companies like NASA and SpaceX were equipped and ready to compete.
You just want to see it destroy the competition out there.
Now these students spent 6 weeks perfecting this robot, and even on the day of the competition, it's not short of any mishaps.
We always have run into some issues and some communication and stuff like that, but we like where we're at.
The goal is to get to the championship. Teams who make it have a stake in more than $18 million in scholarships.
It actually puts real life experience into what we do now, so it's already opening up my eyes to what's ahead.
Both teams say this competition kept their head in the game and their eyes on the prize. For HCTV, I'm Zarina Carazada.
Da Vinci Science placed 7th, and Hawthorne High will be competing in April at the World Championship in St. Louis. The Weisburn Education Foundation hosted their annual educational fundraising event. Tony Long Jr. has the story.
Dana Middle School was the site for this year's Rock Around the Block.
Rock Around the Block is a family festival that we've done for 13 years here to celebrate visual and performing arts in the Weisburn Unified School District, and it's our major fundraiser.
Knowing that the event is to support the arts programs, parents, students, and teachers greatly appreciate the efforts put into the event.
Wow, it's amazing. It's beautiful. There's a lot of activities, a lot. They have the laser guns. They have the thing where you hit with the hammer. They have all kinds of activities. It's really fun for the kids. I would recommend it.
Well, I play violin, and I'm not in the school yet. Next year I'll be in Dana. But I really like this event because it's to fundraise instruments for my cause, basically, because I'm in the program.
Well, I'm very grateful for this event because this event has in part funded every mural I've done in this district.
Weisburn Education Foundation, or WEF, is actively finding ways to provide new items into the programs at the district schools.
WEF has been instrumental for buying another $60,000 worth of instruments for our middle school and high school music programs.
Dr. Tom Johnstone also added that the foundation recently bought a new stage, so they wouldn't have to rent one anymore. For HCTV, this is Tony Long Jr.
For more information on volunteering and upcoming events, contact the Weisburn Education Foundation at 310-643-3025. Most employees want their lunch hour break, but Toyota Finance Services employees sacrifice theirs to spend it restocking teachers' classrooms. Zarina Carazada has more.
It may be lunchtime, but you won't find any food here. Toyota Financial Services employees, also known as TFS, traded in their hour to sandwich in time to give back.
It's very sweet to have someone donate this to teachers because we need so many supplies.
This is the second year the company donated supplies to South Bay schools and its teachers. They call it TFS's Teacher Appreciation Day.
It's really a thank you for the teachers. We want to acknowledge them because they're really the ones that do the heavy lifting in terms of teaching the young people.
Goodie bags were filled with the essentials, pencils, pens, a few other things, but some teachers say the most important are disinfecting wipes.
Sometimes the kids come and they don't have supplies and we have to supply them and, we run out.
Which is why both volunteers and teachers say they are grateful.
This is just an awesome opportunity for all of us team members here today to give back, not only to our teachers but to our community.
With each bag, another classroom is restocked and ready to take on the day's lesson. For HCTV, I'm Zarina Carazada.
Mike Gruff says this year they donated to nearly 60 schools and more than 2,400 teachers. When we return, find out what some local schools are doing for the love of art. A showcase held in the community displayed young artist talents. Kathleen Mendoza has more on the story.
Arts and Services for Disabled held their second annual Artifact Community Art Showcase where performers and artists showed off their talent. The turnout was evident for a particular reason.
Bigger, more artists, first of all, and we also kind of opened it up to younger artists. So we have a whole section dedicated to our younger artists.
Mayor Pro Tem Angie Reyes English was honored to take part in the award ceremony where 3 artists were recognized for their excellence and dedication in visual arts.
I support not just organizations such as this, but just the arts and youth and our children.
Arts and Services for Disabled offers day programs for adults with developmental problems and intellectual disabilities.
And the students that are members of this organization have so much potential and are so talented, and it requires people giving them a chance to express that. And that's why I'm thankful for this organization, because we give them that chance.
The Arts Alive program partnered with Arts and Services for Disabled and added a different dynamic to the showcase.
We bring along the dancers and the vocalists and the rock band and the ukuleles, so everybody can share the arts of Torrance and Hawthorne and the Bay Cities.
Parents with children partaking in the showcase appreciate the benefits it offers.
Art is a form of expression. They find a way to express themselves when they are incapable of doing so with language.
Stephanie Escobar hopes to continue more partnerships with programs geared towards celebrating art and local talent from Hawthorne and the South Bay. For HCTV, I'm Kathleen Mendoza.
For more information on Arts and Services for the Disabled, visit www.artsandservices.org or call 310-970-9945. A crowd gathered and paraded down the streets at a local park. Let's find out why. 13 baseball teams paraded to Del Al Park to celebrate Aviation Little League's opening day.
It's going to be a great season. All the kids are excited, their parents are excited, board members, everybody is looking forward to a great season.
So we have 4 T-ball teams, 4 AA teams, 4 AAA teams, and 1 50-70.
Opening remarks were made and teams were presented before players got warmed up for the first game of the season.
Step, throw, perfect, nice.
You learn how to play, you learn how to work as one, you learn how to be a better person, respectful, and follow what you're told.
It's very important for the health of the kids, and just to get them out there to raise their self-esteem and get families to get together and have the community get together.
Several vendors also set up shop to help raise money for the league.
They got tacos, they got food, they got ice cream jumpers, and it was an awesome thing.
Many families have made these fields their second home. Manny Avendano has volunteered as coach for the past 10 years.
It's just the love. It's the love. It's for us, it's for them. Because if we don't do this, the kid's not going to have anything. So it's just basically it's for them. I want to be there for them. I want to be a role model for somebody. I want to not only as a parent, but also be there for them.
My son loves it, and we don't know any other league, just aviation, and we're going to stick with them.
Vice President Jessica Martinez hopes for a great season. To learn more about the league, go to their website at www.aviationlittleleague.com. Artists are able to exhibit their artwork at a local art gallery. Kathleen Mendoza has more.
Multiple art pieces line the walls of the Phantom Gallery located on Hawthorne Boulevard. With large windows, natural light that shine through made all the artwork gleam.
Introduction to unusual art. Modern art, but unusual, very visionary, very personal art that this gallery represents.
The Phantom Gallery housed 3 art shows. The Lark Gallery, solo show by Lana Sokolov, which featured underwater photography and bright paintings, and solo show by Larissa Polinsky that included paintings of nature and seasons of change.
It's a space where we take artists to bring more life to Hawthorne, I guess. That's the idea.
Deciding what got placed at the gallery didn't take much thought for the artists.
I etched zinc metal plates in an acid and print on a printing machine with the color on the plates. I put my emotions, my feelings, my thoughts in my images.
Lana Sokolov's solo show demonstrated her passion for art.
It's most positive, more colorful, more cheerful, like some happy things.
The motive for the art galleries is to make art more accessible for the community.
The art gallery is a great resource for the city of Hawthorne because galleries are so important in order for fine art to take its place in the world.
This is an amazing place. I'm impressed with the city that we have 2 galleries.
The paintings on the wall come from artists with motivational messages for all artists.
To be yourself, not focus on the money, but doing it for the love of it just being a hobby.
They have to paint from heart. They have to enjoy it. They don't need to listen any advices what they have to paint. They just enjoy it.
Phantom Gallery hopes to bring more artists to partake in their next show. For HCTV, I'm Kathleen Mendoza.
For more information on future art showings, contact Pasio Sarkeen at pasio@gmail.com. Hidden eggs, candy, and a sunny day brought families together for some fun at the Ocean Gate Ministry's first annual egg hunt at Del Park. Zarina Carazada has more.
The fun all started with coloring and decorating foam eggs, and when it was time to move on to the egg hunt, children focused on getting as many as they could, and some found more than just candy inside at the Ocean Gate Ministry's first egg hunt at Del Park.
And there's going to be some surprises with money in them, and some will have different amounts, and we're going to ask those that get the money if they would like to keep the money or bless someone that don't have an egg.
When baskets were full and the grass was cleared, children came to the pastor offering to give back their newfound treasure.
I want to give it to someone.
Why did you want to give it to someone?
Because they have nothing.
Children who chose to give back were rewarded with footballs, basketballs, or a couple of dollars for their good deed. And one parent says it was a proud moment to see.
It made me feel that, she has the right state of mind and she'll always have positive thinking and thinking of other people before herself.
While it was all fun and games, Pastor David Manila says the small gesture children made today will help build a community tomorrow. For HCTV, I'm Zarina Carazada.
Art and craft materials, candies, and eggs were donated by SpaceX and the Hawthorne Chamber of Commerce. Keep it right here on Channel 22 for these future city news stories. We'll take you to the Service Provider Fair, plus we'll take you to a park for Cleanup Day and learn all about a cafe at Michael's Learning Center. That does it for this edition of City News. Thanks for watching. If you have any story ideas, please call us at 310-349-1630. Don't forget you can watch City News online on YouTube by searching Hawthorne Community Television. We'll leave you now with more footage from the robotics competition. See you next time.